Hey travelers, Marcello here from Wandering Trader, talking a little bit about visiting Colombia. These are the 5 things that I love and hate about Colombia. The first thing I hate are the women, because they're so fine. Beautiful women all over the place in Colombia, especially Medellin. Ironically, that's one of the things to love about Colombia as well. They have the slowest cashiers on the planet. It's another thing to hate. I don't know what it is, but there's lines everywhere for everything. You go to the bank, there's a line of 20 people. You go to the store, there's a line of 5 people. So it seems like the cashiers are some of the slowest on the planet. The food, I would say, is also a love and hate, more of a hate, because when you go out to restaurants, you can't really find great food unless you're gonna kind of pay big bucks for it. You know, obviously Colombia big bucks are not as big bucks as in the States or Europe, but you know, when you go out to a restaurant, even a local place, that's something, you know, they don't really do vegetables. They don't, you know, a lot of times they have a lot of rice and beans, so it's not a good quality food. Now, asterisks. You can find very good food in Colombia, right? One of the great things about the food here is that it's organic. It comes, you know, locally grown. So if you go out of your way, you can go to the local markets, you can get good meat. But for the most part, if you're going to be going out to eat all the time, you may not find the best things unless you're going to go to real fancy restaurants all the time. And for those you Americans out there, they do have McDonald's and Burger King, so don't fret. Another thing that I hate about Colombia is the undercover mafia. You know, I'll tell you a story. One time I was walking and a guy cut me off in an SUV, and I punched the window of the SUV because I was mad because he cut me off. And as soon as that happened, I remembered that this is Colombia, one of the drug capitals of the world, you know, back 15, 20 years ago. So you want to be very careful who you mess with here, because you never know who you're going to mess with. You know, so I call that the undercover mafia here in Colombia. And last is the transportation. You know, it's pretty easy to get around the city. They have very common problems for cities like rush hour traffic, things like that. But going from one city to the other, if you're going to go to an airport, a lot of times it's an hour away because it's up on the mountain away from the city. For those of you that don't know, Colombia is within 3 mountain ranges. So a lot of times they'll put the airports, you know, an hour, hour and a half away. You know, if you're going to take a bus, for example, if you're going to try to sleep, it's going to be very difficult because of the roads. You know, they don't have any tunnels, and if they do, it's not many. So a lot of times the roads go like this around the mountain. So when you're on the buses, you're going to not be able to sleep because the buses are going to be just, you know, rocking back and forth. There was a few times where I knocked my head over on the window. So that's another thing to hate about Colombia. Now, you know, every country has its good and bad. I love Colombia. It's one of my favorite countries in the world after visiting 80 countries in the last 6 years or so. I love the women, not only because they're beautiful, but they're beautiful on the inside too. Following up with the women are the people. The Colombian people are one of the most friendliest, most, you know, the nicest, gracious people on the planet. There's nice people, and then there are Colombians, especially the people in Medellin. You know, I want to shout them out, my antioqueños, pues, because they're absolutely awesome people. They're very friendly, they're very open, they love to help, they love to have a good time. The weather here in Colombia, for the most part, in many of the cities, is awesome. I'm specifically talking about Medellin. You know, Bogota might be a little bit cold for you, but Medellin, city of eternal spring, absolutely love the weather here. That's why I decided to buy a penthouse here. The last 3 things, economic opportunity. There are opportunities here left and right to be able to make money. We started a day trading center here. We're teaching locals how to day trade and invest in the stock market. So, you know, we're thinking about opening up a restaurant. There's great opportunity here, especially now. And also the cost of things. You know, I'll give you an example. Even though I got this place for a very, very good deal, I bought a 7-bedroom apartment for $124,000 here in Colombia. There are deals to be had. We have a chef here, a maid that comes every week. Chef comes every day. My expenses monthly here are only $750 a month, including the chef and the maid. You know, I don't think you can, in many parts of the U.S., you can't find an apartment to rent, a 1-bedroom, for $750 a month. So those are some of the things that I love and hate about Colombia. Let me know what you guys think. Any comments or questions, you can leave them below in the video. And as always, you could always come to wanderingtrader.com and visit me there. So we'll talk to you soon. Ciao.
Hola bebé, ¿qué más puedes?
Dígalo de nuevo. Sexy, sexy.
Hola bebé, ¿qué más puedes?
Ven para acá, mami. Okay, so welcome to